Oh, we're coming in hot. Let's do it. Let's go. It's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building live on a weekend, brother.
That's right. Coming off an incredible WWE SummerSlam. I mean, the card highly anticipated. So we decided, you know what? We got to come on right after the show. You want to talk about it as well. Everybody in chat, please come and say hi. It's good to see everybody. Our Discord was popping off as usual as well during the event. But first things first, though, how are you on a Sunday, bro?
Oh man, it was worth waking up Sunday morning.
Yeah.
You know how it is with PLEs, WWE PLEs especially.
Mm-hmm.
I love waking up to like a whole stream of boxes and messages from Discord. I try to give myself a bit of peace and like enjoy it for the first half of the show alone. But then I couldn't resist because the notification was pop, 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 pop. I'm like, okay, I gotta check out what's going on. And then, as I made my entrance, it was really popping, right?
It's always a really cool experience. And having done watch-alongs as well, it's a totally different experience to experience this thing that you love with other people who love it, who have, funny things to say as well. Like people make jokes that you won't even think of. That's why I love the community. And that's why if you haven't already, come join us on the Discord. The links are right there in the description as per always. But okay, a very special edition of the podcast today. I feel like we are living on the edge, bro. Because, okay, if you don't know what has happened, a little bit of drama in my life, and perhaps a certain billionaire is to be blamed once again.
Of course.
Bro, we should make a Blame TK shirt at this point.
Oh my god. I mean, it's too easy, bro. It's like a low-hanging fruit, but I can't resist as well sometimes.
Yeah, Blame TK. So, okay, here's the thing, right? It started on Wednesday. Bro, it's been like 6 days since I've been devoid of broadband internet. This is true first world problems, bro. So we are streaming right now, tethering off my 5G on my handphone.
Oh dear God, this is very scary, bro. Scary.
Yeah, risky, So one plane flyby, the whole podcast might drop.
Okay. Quick question. Who's your broadband telco?
Okay,
company, bro.
So I am under My Republic, but I do not believe it is an issue on their end. Okay, this is a bit technical, but you know how every household has a fiber optic point, right?
Yes, correct.
And every fiber optic point actually has two outputs. So you can technically have two telcos, correct?
Okay, got you.
So my house actually subscribes to two different telcos because my dad is on Singtel, I am on My Republic. Okay,
I see. But it's all the telco points all at the same place?
Yeah. You only have one fiber optic point, ma.
Fiber optic. Gotcha. Okay.
So on Wednesday morning, simultaneously both went out. So the logical explanation is the fiber optic point problem. It's not that either telco went down, right? It's not like Singtel went down, but My Republic was fine. Both went down, which means it's probably a NetLink Trust problem. Now you might be like, who the is NetLink Trust? NetLink Trust is the company that does all the fiber optic points and cabling in Singapore.
Okay. This is very technical territory, but okay.
I need to give context because I'm not Tony Khan and I need to. I cannot expect people to understand, right?
Educate me
on you.
Optics. Okay.
So the thing is the fact that both went out at the same time points to the fiber optic point, the source being the problem, right? Mm-hmm. So I called Singtel. I explained the situation to them. They're like, have you done this? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I did everything already. Come on, you got to trust Mr. Young. Then they're like, okay, you have to bring down the box and the wires and they'll replace it. But I'm like, I don't think it's a box or wire problem. It's the point. They're like, no, this is part of their procedure. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, fine. Then I called My Republic. Because here's the thing. NetLink Trust cannot send a technician unless one of the telcos sends a ticket up to them to have them come down.
Okay, understand.
So I called My Republic, and at least My Republic were like, okay, we get it. We'll send a technician down to investigate in 2 days, so on Friday.
Okay, and that happened.
The fella came on Friday. He looked at the fiber optic point. He did a test on it. He's like, there's no internet coming in. It's not an equipment problem. I can't do anything. I'm like, I told you that was the fucking problem.
Oh, dear God.
Essentially, I waited 2 days for the fellow to come for 5 minutes to tell me I was right.
Okay, gotcha. So, it's nothing to do with the equipment. So, what's going to happen? Is supposed to change the whole thing or what?
So, now, after this is typical Singapore lah. Everything must follow step one, procedure one. Right.
Gotcha.
So now the technician has raised a ticket to My Republic headquarters. They will then talk to Netlink Trust. Netlink Trust, together with My Republic, will then send a technician. They said, okay, we will call you when we have, put that in motion, when we have a technician to send down. I think they don't work on weekends, bro.
I don't think so too, bro. I don't think it's a 24... At least it's not a 24/7
No,
job,
it's not. So, on Friday, I was waiting the whole day for this phone call that wouldn't come. I even called them. They're like, oh, yeah, you just wait. So, Saturday and Sunday, I'm like, okay, Lord, I give up, Lord. There's no way. So, at best case scenario, Monday, they call me. Monday morning, Monday afternoon, right? It's not like they will be like, oh, we'll send the guy right away. Probably have to wait 2 days or 1 day, right?
Oh, dear God.
So technically, I will be out of broadband for at least 2-3 more days, I'm guessing.
Damn. So, okay, wait, you couldn't contact Netlink Trust directly. You have to go through all the telcos.
I freaking called Netlink Trust.
I know you would.
Yes. You know what they said? Sorry, sir, we can't do anything because they need to raise the ticket to them first. Then they can must follow this Singapore must follow protocol, bro. Everything must follow the sequence one.
Bro, this sounds like a typical day at work for me. Cannot go through finance. Must raise a ticket, send an email to the finance comms. Oh my God.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm not saying I solved the problem, but I already knew the source of the problem, right? Why y'all never don't listen? Just listen to me, bro. Trust me, bro. Okay, lah. To be fair, they don't know if I'm talking on my ass or not, lah. So, but still.
Okay. Speaking of first world problems, but also appreciating, because I saw your IG stories. You've been out and about, enjoying life without broadband. Okay. How's that been, bro?
To be fair, that's a joke, lah. I'm usually out and about on a Saturday morning to have breakfast, walk the dogs.
Yeah, I know. But without the broadband life, is there any difference in your life? I mean, I don't know if you can watch internet at home.
Actually, the only thing is I'm actually quite impressed with Circle's Life. I'm on Circle's Life, the 5G, quite strong. I mean, I don't want to jinx it. We're still good. Bro, I was playing Marvel Rivals, a PC game last night on my 5G, bro.
Oh my God, bro. I do not even want to think how much data you've used so far.
It's okay. I have 250 gigs on my plan per month, so should be okay. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat, by the way. Alfred, good to see you. Lysander, Tovakin, Zayden, Muhammad Daniel. All our OGs are here. Div Royalty, Fias Grinder. All the ones are being thrown up because of what just went down at SummerSlam. And yes, we will get to it in just a bit. We are not...
Tovaki was asking about the post show. You are not, right?
Yeah, we are not watching the post show because I'm very scared of having another thing that will suck my internet on another screen. So if anything happens in the post show, if any shenanigans, please let us know. Okay, jump in and tell us somebody beat somebody up.
Yeah, I was about to on a different screen with the post show, but then the first person that I saw coming on the press con was Nia Jax, and I'm like, nah, it's okay, I can skip it. It's all fine. It's all good.
Hey, put some respect on the queen, okay? She's the queen of the ring and now the women's champion as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a bit. But you know what? I rather talk about everything that went down in SummerSlam. Is like we predicted, it was a very newsworthy show.
Yes, eventful indeed. But before we get to anything, of course, the first thing we need to do is shout out our lovely sponsors of the podcast. Hey, where is it? There you go.
Let it load. Let
it load. Let it cook. Lemak, talking about cooking. Lunch is in a bit, bro.
Oh my God, yeah, man. I mean, I wish I had some lemak in this morning to accompany me while I was watching SummerSlam. But if you're in the area, you're in Bugis, walking down Arab Street, they are over there at My Kampung Village. Please visit their store and let them know Kick to the Gut sent you, man. The food is awesome. Please enjoy it, bro.
A traditional taste of home, as they say here. If you are in the mood for some traditional Malay cuisine, Indonesian cuisine, go check out Lemak. Once again, follow them on their Instagram pages, right? Their social media pages, rather. Instagram is lemak.lemak.
Yeah, man, don't forget my favorite dessert, bro. Jongkong. If you like Gula Melaka taste, it's all there. Please also enjoy their frap and their beanies coffee, man. They got all the kind of food that you like, man. And apparently it's attracting a lot of tourists over there as well. A lot of tourists making their way around the area.
Nice.
Very, very curious to try their food. So please do as well.
Absolutely. Lemak.com.sg. Go check them out. If you need to order for the office, do some, like they do corporate orders as well, don't they? So if you have some sort of
Yes.
office function, hit them up on their website, lemak.com.sg. There you go. You can find out all about what they have to offer, okay?
All right, can't wait
And-
to eat some lemak.
We also want to give a shout out to our other sponsor, SPW, who are going to be having a wrestling event very, very soon. Here's another one of the matches that's happening. Hardcore Island 2, by the way, happening on the 16th of August in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, man, it's actually the week after this. So, like, after this episode, we'll do all our WWE SummerSlam review. Next week, we'll be doing our Hardcore Island preview, hopefully,
Yes.
with a SPW wrestler in tow. So, that should be fun.
Can't wait. Check it out. Just a little glimpse of what you can expect, right? Obviously, this is going to be their main event. Hardcore Island is going to be a hardcore themed event, so you're going to expect a lot of chaos, a lot of carnage. The Singapore Extreme Rules match, this is their main event. The Midnight Bastards and the Statement Andrew Tang versus Aiden Rex and Dr. God and the Butcher Man, the Horrors.
Oh, it's going to be a fun week of pro wrestling. It's going to be a fun month of local wrestling because it's not just SPW. There's a lot of other wrestling promotions having shows and events this month for National Day month, right? So it's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We kind of joked about it, right? Can you imagine for WrestleMania? I mean, our boy, Dante Chen, he showed up on NXT. You know, he's crossing, quote unquote, the forbidden door as well.
Yeah, man. TNA, don't forget.
Yeah, our boy, wait, what did I say? Did I say NXT?
Yes, yeah,
Okay. No, I was like, wait, what? No, I meant TNA. There you go. Sorry. But yeah, like, dude needs a marquee win for National Day. Come on, let's do it. Do it for National Day.
Come on, man. I want Dante Chen and Joe Hendry to buddy and beat the Galluses.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
I
That'll be fun.
believe in Dante Chen.
Ooh. Hey, do you see the SGAT guy, the one that we interviewed a couple of months
Sean.
back, Sean?
Yeah.
He did like a very funny NDP related post where I think he was in attendance for one of the preview shows,
Uh-huh.
and he looked to his friend. He was like, "Man, I hope Roman Reigns returns."
All right. But, you are at NDP, bro. It's that meme, right? Like, it's a series of memes.
Oh, is it? I'm not too aware of what trend this is all about, but I mean, Roman Reigns, NDP. I
It is a trend.
like the cross collaboration.
Somebody did the same thing when it's like, oh, I can't wait for Roman Reigns, and they were at a Taylor Swift concert or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha.
So that's where this
great.
comes from. But once again, SPW, Singapore Pro Wrestling, I follow them on their social media pages as well. If you want to get tickets, you can always just DM them and ask them how you can get tickets lah. All right. So in the meantime, let's talk about what just went down. Are you still buzzing about SummerSlam?
Yeah, man. I mean, why is not to love about the biggest party of the summer, man? So
Yeah.
I think the hype for SummerSlam was amazing, and I think, in my opinion, like it has delivered so far.
Oh, okay. I was just about to ask, and chat, please feel free to weigh in right now. The anticipation for SummerSlam was very high. Did it exceed? Did it meet? Or did it under deliver? You said it exceeded.
No, I said it delivered.
It delivered,
everything that we wanted.
It
Yeah,
met.
out of it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I honestly, and this might be a surprise to you, I would go as far as to say it underperformed a bit. Just a bit. It went under what I expected. I'm not saying it was bad. I feel like there could have been some things that could have been better.
Okay, it's very interesting that you say that because it's almost as if, right? Okay, let's be fair. Like, we are grading WWE on a curve, right?
Yeah.
That means when you say on a curve in the last couple of years, the PLEs has been amazing.
Yeah.
They've delivered very strongly. He's in front of hot crowds, right?
Yep.
So we are grading based on that. So if you want to base on the reactions and, like, the twist that we've seen from PLEs the last couple of years, I would say it's somewhere around the middle. It's not the craziest,
Yeah.
unbelievable SummerSlam, but I think when I say it delivered means everything that we expected or we hoped. I think that's a keyword. We hoped happened.
Yeah.
So at least sometimes when it's predictable, but it's what you wanted, I think
Yeah.
you can still be satisfied with the outcome.
Satisfying payoffs, lah, I suppose, is what you're saying, right? And
Yeah.
well, we started off with the backstabbing that we all expected, but we were waiting to see. And what a
Yeah.
great way to kick off the night, right? Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Dirty Dominic Mysterio in the corner of Rhea Ripley as well. Okay, talk to me about the match. First of all, they did the whole thing with the first part of the match, if I remember correctly, Rhea was essentially dominating Liv, which makes sense, right? Powerhouse versus not so powerhouse. But
Yeah.
Liv finally got the offense when Rhea dislocated her shoulder. Talk to me about the shoulder dislocation and this is, okay, I don't know if you know the reference here. This seems like a very 90s to 2000s action movie trope where the action hero at some point will get his shoulder dislocated and then he will smash it against a hard surface to relocate, to put it back in. You know what I mean? You've seen that trope before, right?
Yeah, probably something from Sylvester Stallone or like Arnold Schwarzenegger. This kind of shit probably happens. Yeah, I kind of laugh at it because it was like a bit over dramatic lah. Like it was funny.
Yeah.
But one thing about the commentary, something that they said, like, I love it when the commentary gave a very good callback that even I didn't think of, right? Because they mentioned how Rhea Ripley going into this match has been undefeated for nearly 2 years.
Yes.
But the last person that actually defeated her was Liv Morgan.
That's correct.
And forgive me if I'm wrong or like suddenly I got no memory of this at all. But I completely don't remember Liv Morgan beating Rhea Ripley or whatever rivalry that was happening during that period. I completely it just disappeared from my mind. So clearly it wasn't that memorable.
Bro.
But the fact that they managed to bring it to tie it to this current storyline, that's the kicker right there.
Neither do I. But here's the thing. This time around, they have a proper story behind it. That's why it was memorable. I mean, we talk about this all the time, right? Two people can go in there and have a great match, but no story and nobody will remember the match, unfortunately, no matter how many stars Dave Meltzer gives it. This match, I wouldn't consider this match a great match by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't bad. But, you know, like, we were watching this match for the drama and the story and the eventual...
The ending,
The ending. And the question is how it was going to play out. I mean, okay, there's still a part of me that's sad that we didn't get to see Dom shake a ladder.
Yeah,
right?
I understand.
but it would have been too on the nose, lah. I understand that, lah. So, okay.
Was the how it was executed, did it live up to your expectations?
I think so. So, okay, here's the thing. They tried to tease, when he first stopped Rhea from using the chair, it still made sense in that he didn't want Rhea to get DQ'd, right? So I was a bit
correct.
So they tried to swerve us one way first without making it too obvious that Dom was going to help Liv. Now that you look back on it, he was like, oh yeah lah, he did it to stop her from hitting Liv also lah, So I like that they threw that little wrinkle in there before the eventual, betrayal.
And there's the continuity of him actually maybe inadvertently doing the same thing the last couple of pay-per-views, whether it was helping her against Becky Lynch, helping her with the same thing against Zelina Vega, but this time this was on purpose. So I like that continuity as well.
And here's the thing, right? Liv and Rhea, if it were just a match, there is no way you could ever have Liv go over because it just doesn't make any sense. Visually, it would be like, what the right? And Liv is not some amazing submission artist or some, as a talent, she's just her. But here's how you make Rhea Ripley, quote unquote, weaker, because she was with Dom and she got distracted, blah, 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 that kind of thing. I like that when the finish actually happened, and we talked about this last week, right? I didn't want to see Rhea Ripley like sob and cry and break down in the middle of the ring. We sort of saw a little bit of it, like you could tell she was crying, but also like filled with rage.
Yeah, seething.
More of a seething yet betrayed sort of a vibe versus like her completely, oh my man, no. Rhea Ripley still looks strong.
Now the fun thing about watching WWE is like, clearly like the way it's being booked, everything is supposed to make sense. Everything's supposed to have meaning. So like, those little things like, okay, how can somebody of the stature of Liv Morgan believably defeat Rhea Ripley?
Yep.
First, you target her injured body part, re-injure her.
Yes.
Secondly, you distract her with all this mummy and like dom-dom nonsense. And then you take advantage of, her being distracted and get the win. Like all those things, you can analyze it in a way that, man, that's so great, man. You don't have to like pick holes in the plot.
Yep.
When you see a bad movie.
If you want, you can, but at least most of it is justified and there's an explanation for it lah. Yeah, I mean at the end of the day, look, it's pro wrestling. It's gonna have its plot holes. Like I still am holding out for one day Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan get together and they both dumb dirty.
Oh, that's hilarious. But remember what we predicted last week on our preview show? We talked about how now maybe it's gonna be Liv Morgan kicking out Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest down the road is gonna get kicked out by somebody else and it's gonna be a Judgment Day 2.0.
Yeah, well,
that's
exactly what we saw, right? And it was, and we talked about it as well. It was exactly what they needed also. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, I think they've outgrown Judgment Day. Judgment Day can still do whatever they need to do now with a new figurehead.
Yeah, it's not Kalito, okay? Let's be clear. Not Kalito leading Judgment Day, okay?
Tovakin says, just say it lah, she has great assets. You talking about Rhea or Liv or both? Or Dom?
Yeah, that's why, Tovakin. Okay. Can you be more specific? What if Dom is the one with the great assets?
Oh, I love how the commentary team, even the post-show analysts, they're like, what does Dom have? Why are all these women falling for this dirty-looking fella?
Oh my god! And they actually had the panel right after SummerSlam. They were talking about it, right? Who's the new announcer or like backstage girl from Raw? She's the one. She's quite pretty as well.
Not
the one
Jackie
that's
Redmond.
On the panel. Yeah, Jackie Redmond.
Jackie
Why do you mean
Redmond.
not Jackie Redmond? She is pretty.
No, I like she is the backstage announcer for Raw, man. I thought.
No. She is for Raw, I believe, and then Katie Kelly is. I can't remember, but anyway, Jackie Redmond, she's been
she
great, right?
usually hosts the post shows now.
Yeah, she does all the panel stuff. So she was so all the guys like including Big E, Wade Barrett were like trying to make sense of like what's this appeal of Dominic,
Yeah.
And then what Jackie Redmond said, and I'm like I'm pretty sure I've heard girls around me in my life say this as well.
What?
She was like, I mean, sometimes he's kind of so bad that it's like can't resist, And I'm like, what? Okay.
I'm telling you, he's the bad boy that the girls want to change.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like saying like, okay, I get it lah. I defer to Dom, okay?
Bro, I was saying this in the Discord chat. I'm like, even his own dad wishes he had the career trajectory. Freaking Dom, gets to get licked by Rhea, make up with Liv Morgan, happily married. Meanwhile, Rey Mysterio, his career, getting lawn darted by Kevin Nash, getting head squeezed by Kali, getting backstabbed by everybody he's ever partnered with. Rey is like, wow, hey, my son, good life,
You know what's funny, right? When we first saw Dominic debut, right? He had the most innocent baby face, like confirm never touched a girl before vibe to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's almost as like this sick joke, maybe by Paul Heyman or Triple H. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think let's make a man out of this boy. Let's make him a bit dirty. Let's give him all the girls to hit on him.
and then grow out the mustache, literally call him Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, make him come from prison, even for that one day kind of lock up. Turn into a whole entire ass character trait. I mean,
bro, how do we redeem? Like at some point, he needs some sort of a redemption arc, right? Like how do we even redeem him in obviously in 5 years' time? For now, he is pretty much he's gonna have such nuclear heat on Raw. The second he comes, I imagine whatever segment he's on Raw, he just walks out only he will get booed, and he's already getting booed like nobody's business. He is going to.
Oh my god, there's another level to this. I thought it's nuclear already. It's gonna be like Oppenheimer heat after this.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be like a black hole level heat. Like wow. Dom himself is more over than 50% of the roster at this point.
If I was Dom, right, I'm like, guys, you're making my job so easy. I don't have to work so hard to get you guys to boo me. I just turn up. I mean.
Wow. She gets he got to make out with or cuddle up with Rhea Ripley, and now he gets to make out with Liv Morgan. I mean, poor guy lah, bro.
Somebody said in the Discord they kind of look cute together. Was it you?
Yeah. No, Liv and Dirty Dom actually look cute together.
Yeah. I feel like in terms of dynamics, Rhea Ripley was literally the Dom. In the relationship, right? And Dom was just a toy boy. But here, I feel like it's a more equal relationship. I think it's a healthier relationship, Mr. Young.
No,
so I stand both of them.
You know what it is? What? Liv Morgan knows what the boys want. The boys just want to play PlayStation, play WWE 2K. Give them. She bought them the PlayStation. Give them time to play.
Yes. So girls, advice, if you want to, win your way to a guy's heart, give them PS5
Yeah.
and twirl around every time you see them. I'm just saying.
No. She's the bad one. She's bad for him. She's the heel. She'll get defeated. So the moral of the story is be a mommy.
Sometimes it's so bad you can't resist. I'm just saying.
Stop it. Okay. I love where this is going because now this opens up even more stuff moving forward. Now you could have literally Dom and Liv versus Rhea and Priest. You could have the whole
Yeah.
Judgment Day thing. You could have Jay. I'm sure Jay is going to be stepping in, right? Jay and Rhea versus Dom and Liv.
Yeah, there's gonna be so many layers to it. And the best part is, right, it's not even for the title. So this is his own storyline that lives on Raw. It's gonna be another hot segment for. I'm actually curious, right?
Yeah.
If like Jim Cornette does like quarterly breakdowns for Raw, I want to see what are the segments for Liv, Dom, Rhea, this entire drama novellas
Bro.
segment. I don't know.
Imagine this, a wrestling show actually building anticipation for the next episode. What a thought. What a revelation. As opposed to just throwing a bunch of shit on the card and thinking that your audience will stick around to watch the next week because that was a 5-star match.
How long have we been doing this podcast, bro? Maybe what, 6, 7 years? Going on 7 years, bro?
Thereabouts.
Like, we've gone through some shit in terms of watching wrestling, right?
WWE was very guilty of just terrible booking under Vince McMahon for a long time, yes.
It was. And for a long time, I thought we were just doing this for an audience of one, like probably you, me, and probably like your doggos or something. Like there won't be any audience, right?
Yeah.
But it just heartens my heart to know that I'm waking up on a Sunday morning with a community of local wrestling fans talking about SummerSlam. Bro, there was a period that this will not be possible group for us, right?
It helps that the product is good. It helps when, bro, you know what's crazy to me? All these Korean dating shows, reality shows, right? They are literally podcasts like ours talking about what so-and-so did and this episode so-and-so broke so-and-so's heart. I'm like,
I get you.
Yeah, people eat up this sort of it's kind of crazy to think about it, but WWE, the pro wrestling product, is a reality show in that way.
Yeah, it is a sports event in that way. And you know how sports fandom is such a huge deal, what club you support, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like if you support wrestling, think of it as like, oh, you're supporting this club. You are so invested in everything that goes down from what happens in the ring to the storylines to the backstage stuff. And like we are all here for it. So it just makes us happy to do this podcast because like it's fun when you review stuff that's fun. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. So okay, that was just the first match, the Women's World Championship. We got Liv Morgan, retaining the championship. To be honest, I still feel like Liv, even though through this program she sort of elevated herself, I don't really care to see her in the ring. Still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's more character at this point than in-ring abilities. Alfred said something funny. I can't believe I survived the PG era, bro. You and me, bro.
I ducked out during the PG era. To be honest,
yeah.
I was watching UFC at the time.
I understand. I'm one of the holdouts, bro. I'm one of the true survivors, bro. So shout out to Alfred as well. But yeah, back to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, you're not gonna say that she's the top 5 in-ring performer of all time. You can say that about Rhea Ripley, right?
Oh, yes.
But that's why it makes this result so interesting because actually a lot of us expected Liv to retain because of the storyline.
Yes. So, you will remember them because of the storyline, which is, it's kind of mad lah. But there you go. That's the way we kick off the show. Great way to kick off the show, in my opinion. We move on.
No, I'm just saying, like, the biggest breakout star of the Riot Squad was actually Liv Morgan of all people.
Who are the other two? Ruby Riot, who knows what she's doing now, and Sarah Logan.
Yeah. So it's the baby of the group. It's the one that is the star now. So well deserved.
Well, I think she was always going to be the star, right? They even did a documentary about her on the WWE Network. You don't do a documentary about somebody if you don't think they're going to be somebody, right?
No, but that Live Forever documentary was when she really became champion and beat Ronda Rousey, remember?
Sure. They wanted to give her a little bit more reason for you to cheer for her, lah, I guess.
Yeah. Nobody remembers her being the lesbian lover of Lana, lah. That's all I can say, lah.
Okay, with that, let's hang on. Fias says he's watching Cody interview right now. He said that Cleveland is where Stardust was born. Oh,
Ah,
wow. Okay, from Stardust to what he is now. Hey, that's the thing about Cody. Everything he full send. Like I missed most of Stardust run, but from the clips that I've seen, like he full send on Stardust. Like he embraced it. Like he knew he was a bit of a dumb hokey gimmick, but you
no.
can tell like he went all in on it.
Yeah, no pun intended.
Yeah, and well, I appreciate that. But okay, let's talk about Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. Not much to talk about because it was a 5-minute match. But did you think that? I mean, we all know this was the right decision, but what did you think of the match?
Okay, we watched the Money in the Bank match as well, right? I could easily say this is the worst match.
Yep.
It wasn't as good as the Money in the Bank, but I understand why. Like,
Yeah.
to me, the Money in the Bank was more of like a proving ground match to showcase the fact that Braun Breaker can hang in the ring with Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn was probably trying to build him up, as a very convincing challenger, right?
Yep.
So and then he survived, and Sami Zayn got the win. I think this is more of like, okay, now we've already proven that he can carry this title. Now let's give him the title. So this is more of like to give the title, nothing more about the match.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of wish if they were going to squash Sami Zayn, I kind of wish it was come in off the ropes spear end. Honestly, if they wanted to squash, do like a sudden like a whoa, what the type of win. I wish they would have done that. Instead of trying to give Sami a bit of hope, like, oh, look, he injured his shoulder. By the way, that would have been the second shoulder to post-injury spot, right? It became a theme of the night, which was really weird because, I think LA Knight sold his shoulder for a bit as well in his match as well. But, like, I get where they were going with it. I just kind of wish that, Braun would have had his, like, ultra dominant Goldberg win. And then at least Sami can say, well, you just, lucky shot, as it were, right? And then at least that would be something to contend with. Now it does seem like Sami's just like, okay, I'm going to move on with my tag team.
Yeah, it would have made the match stand out or more memorable, I would admit. Because kind of the rest of the matches had kind of the same story thread running through.
Exactly.
Yeah, but man, I love whatever he does on the top row. That Frankensteiner / they call it the Breaker Steiner now.
Yeah. Which didn't Priest do it to Gunther as well?
Yeah, but with Braun Breaker, it's like a family tradition, right? With Scott Steiner.
And he does it so suddenly too. Like there's a element of speed to it.
Yeah. And as fans, right, especially somebody like me who it takes time for me to like a wrestler, but when I like a wrestler, I all out will like them. Things like building a very memorable move set helps.
Yes.
Right? So now all of us are looking forward to him when he just jumps up and does a Frankensteiner. And of course, he's running the ropes like freaking fast. Like, bro, that is like such a simple move, but because it's him delivering it with all that intensity, makes it like a wow moment.
Wait, hang on. What you are saying is that wrestlers don't need to do, you know where I'm going with this. Wrestlers don't need to do a 540 spinning jalapeno and through 10 ladders onto a bed of barbed wire to make it look good and convincing? Are you saying that you don't need to do acrobatics to make wrestling look real?
No, you just need a badass guy to do a shoulder block and an incredibly athletic guy to sell it and flip it. And that's enough flipping already, bro.
Bro, I don't understand what you're saying. Dave Meltzer told me that I need to do a Meltzer driver to get 5 stars.
No need, bro. But I think you won't get 5 stars. To be fair, right, this match won't get 5 stars because Dave Meltzer won't see it value in it.
No.
But like I said, it established Braun. Now, right, Braun is the IC champ. We can believably see him as a champ. As opposed to a few weeks ago.
Well, and we talked about it last week, right? Like in that whole IC bracket, there are a whole bunch of contenders now. You got Shamus waiting in the wings. You got Pete Dunne, who's in the mix. You got Bronson Reed is always in the mix because he's a big guy, but let's face it, he hasn't been portrayed as much of a threat.
He's just the mixer. Bro, don't forget, bro. Ilya Dragunov is somewhere there, bro.
There you go. I am looking forward to another series between Ilya and Braun Breaker as well.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm curious about Braun versus Braun.
Braun Strowman.
Yeah, Braun Strowman. That would be
Okay.
interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let him, devour the competition, build up the winning streak of like a Gunther perhaps.
Mm.
And I'm very curious to see what happens in WrestleMania. By the time WrestleMania
Yep.
rolls along, does he still have the title? Is he still gonna be booked as a big champ? Very exciting
While
times.
isn't the whole rumor that Braun is going to be a mainstay of the Netflix era of Raw? So it makes
Uh,
sense for him to stay strong all the way, right?
yeah.
Yeah. My only issue with this match was the fact that it just, like you said, to your point, it was just an inferior version of the match they already had.
Yeah, and one thing, if I can ask, if I'm the one that's giving tips to Braun Breaker, right? In terms of how he can improve his character, I think he needs to start cutting Scott Steiner like memorable promos. I'm not saying that he just be as crazy as his uncle. I'm
And
just saying that everything in the ring and physicality wise is amazing.
Mm.
But I just want to know, I want to see whether he can pull off the cutting of in ring promo.
Steiner math. Look, the few promos that he's cut, I believe he has it.
Yep.
His promo style is intensity, quick to the point. I'm gonna cut you in half, sort of a deal, right? He doesn't need
Yeah.
to be doing long, drawn out, emotional promos. That's not him. He's a smasher,
Yeah.
destroyer.
Yeah, actually just needs that one memorable segment, I would say. Not a memorable match, but a memorable segment.
Yeah, because we already know that he can go. So, okay, there you go. Braun Breaker, brand new Intercontinental Champion. Now, let's talk about the United States Championship. Did you think that Logan Paul would be booed in his hometown?
Yes.
He's just so good at being a heel.
Yeah, people don't like him for real, so
Mm.
I'm not surprised. But it's so interesting because it was Cleveland. He should have made it about him, but it wasn't really about him. He kind of let other people be the representatives of Cleveland, if you know what I mean.
You know, yeah, I mean The Miz, because he knows he's a heel, right? So that's the thing. I mean, obviously, all his other shenanigans aside, whatever you may think of Logan Paul, he understands the business so well on such an incredible level. The Machine Gun Kelly thing, I'm like, whatever lah. It's MGK from Cleveland, that's why he was there, and then they're like, oh, friend.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jeez,
whatever.
jeez.
You know, I had a thought, right? I was like, after the match finished, like, oh, that's cool. Logan Paul put over a young rookie. Because honestly, that's what it felt to me. It felt like Logan Paul making LA Knight. Doesn't that sound crazy?
It does.
Considering LA Knight is the veteran in this match. To me, it was Logan Paul selling and just being the detestable heel that he is that made everything LA Knight did look good. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. LA Knight's moveset and matches are not memorable.
The crazy thing is, right, like, if you look at it from like a pop culture, like wider beyond WWE world, right, Logan Paul is clearly the more recognizable star.
Yes.
If people are tuning into SummerSlam for the first time because like, hey, I heard Logan Paul is fighting, like I want to see who he fights again.
Yeah.
People are gonna learn about LA Knight through Logan Paul. So you're right in the sense that Logan Paul is the one with the clout, with the prestige that is trying to build LA Knight. And LA Knight is the kind of person that you said again. He's the opposite of Braun Breaker, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Memorable promos and all that, but in the ring, forgettable.
That's a great way of putting it. It's like the same issue we've talked about with the Usos, right? Like, for whatever reason, their matches are just not memorable. They don't stand out.
Yeah, but that being said, like, I thought the finish of this match was really pretty awesome. Like, I think Logan Paul was doing a buckshot lariat, and then the way LA Knight reversed it and straight away transitioned into a blunt force trauma was really smooth. Did you see that?
Yeah, the BFT. This after he even got whacked with the brass knucks and everything, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I will stick by my guns here. I feel like Logan Paul made this match. Whoever Logan Paul went up against would have been made in this match, even if it wasn't LA Knight. I know this might be a hot
crazy.
take.
Yeah, it's crazy to hear that.
But give me Ilya Dragunov. You put him in there instead of LA Knight, he would have gotten the same pop. To me, Logan Paul made LA Knight.
I heard some people in some circles saying that I think Logan Paul is a much better version of Will Ospreay. What do you think about that?
Oh wow. Yes. Look. To be fair, if you gave, let's say I'm like, the guy with the checkbook, right? And I could only hire Logan Paul or Will Ospreay, 1,000,000% I would hire Logan Paul.
Yeah, because of everything he brings to the table beyond just the wrestling, right?
Yes, exactly. And this is like, I don't want to get into that. Let's just talk about SummerSlam. Because I will go down a rabbit hole, bro.
Yes, you will. Yes, you. But what I'm saying, the reason why I brought it up is because I feel athleticism-wise, Logan Paul has it really. He has the ability. I think he's really one of the best in the world in terms of athleticism in all of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you see what the hell he did? He did like this. He ran to the ropes and then he kind of jumped. Like he ran and jumped and twist around and then did a moonsault.
Yeah.
Balancing from the top rope. Like, who the hell does that, bro?
But you see, like, obviously, yes, the athleticism is there. We've talked about it before. But to me, it's not even about that. Even if he had a punch kick brawler moveset, it's his selling. It's his ability to tell a story.
Yeah.
This has become a Logan Paul love fest.
A wank fest, bro.
I know, right? Even though, yes, I don't agree with a lot of things he's done in real life, but like...
Hey, don't forget, LA Knight was the one that won the match, guys.
Yeah, LA Knight won. See, that's the thing. To me, watching this match, even though LA Knight won, I still feel like, shit, Logan Paul won my respect.
Yeah, I know. So, Irvin said too far lah, the comparison. But Div said, I'm just glad LA Knight got the title. I hope he gets more exciting. I agree. I think the time when LA Knight was the hottest was last year. He definitely cooled off. He needed the title to make him relevant again.
Bro, I feel like this might be another hot take. I love him as a on-stick guy, right?
Yeah.
But I understand now why the trigger was never pulled for him. Just watching him work, I understand that he
as the world
lacks,
champion lah.
Yeah, as a world champion, I actually understand it now. He lacks something, and that's the in-ring aura.
Is it because his moveset is not defined?
Yes.
Is that why?
It's not. It's clunky. His finisher is terrible. Like
really? You don't like BFT?
No, it looks awkward to set up. It's okay. It's one of those finishes where the person receiving it obviously is helping you, and that to me takes it away.
It's like the skull crushing finale. Is it like very?
I would
awkward.
say the skull crushing finale is a better finisher because you're getting your legs swept out from under you. If somebody, we're going into the physics of this, right? If somebody comes up next to you and just grabs your head and pulls forward. Honestly, it's not that hard to just lean back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
The way he does it just seems it's not a great move, lah.
No, but I would argue that the way he transitioned into doing it in this match was pretty awesome. Like, like the way, because he was from a buckshot, right?
But bro, that is 50% Logan Paul making it smooth. Also, don't forget.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying that as long as he change up his moveset, change his finisher, then he might be more interesting.
No, and tell better stories in the ring. It's like I feel like his package is not complete. If you could have his promos with like Cody's moveset, then yes, maybe,
Okay, then why does I'm just curious, like why does somebody like a Stone Cold in his later career, which is just punch kick, why is it so memorable? Is it just purely because of how iconic the Stone Cold Stunner is?
Yes, that. So Stone Cold, he has so many things working for him. This is the storyline with Vince McMahon, right? He's the end. He was the right person at the right time with the right moveset. Well, not so much the right moveset, but he could tell a story in the ring. I feel like LA Knight doesn't have that. That's why
ability to tell stories.
That's why in this match it felt like Logan Paul was the one telling stories, making LA Knight look good.
That's interesting, but well, now we have to see what LA Knight does with the title, whether he can elevate himself in the ring as well. We know he can do it on the mic, but whether he can elevate himself as a championship match contender. So
we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's move. Where's Edison? Nia Jax. Here we go.
Edison,
Bayley.
come appear. It's time for you to appear and comment.
Nia Jax. What happened to her Queen of the Ring crown that she won at the Queen of the Ring? That one was so much nicer than the one she came out with.
Yeah, this one like macam she buy on Etsy or something like that. Like I don't know why.
It looked like some scrap. I understand that maybe she wanted to give it more of an industrial urban edge. like, silver color match her
Yeah,
outfit. But it looked a bit too big for her head also. So it looked like a big, like, it looked clownish, honestly.
there's a reason why Gunther never wore his King of the Ring. I think you will lose a bit of your mystique.
No, but like
But
at least with Naya, I think it would have worked. The original one was very elegant, very graceful, very regal looking, right?
yeah,
I don't know lah. To me, the King and Queen of the Ring, okay, it's good that not all the winners adopt the King gimmick. Booker did
yeah,
it well. Xavier ran with it for a couple of months, but he kind of has given up on it as well.
yeah,
The
yeah,
King thing,
yeah.
right? So it's good. I feel that not all of them suddenly run a King Queen gimmick lah.
Yeah, it would have been too predictable if that was the case for sure. Yeah, but Nia Jax winning the King and Queen of the Ring and then leading to this title shot at SummerSlam. Do you think it was too long between pay-per-views between King of the Ring and SummerSlam? Because sometimes I forgot that she was challenging for the title until they brought it back to relevance.
I think what is going on is they are trying to cook something else. So unfortunately, Bailey, as we all said, she was kind of just very bland for a long time already after having her WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
This was quite obviously the way they needed to go because now the goal is to try to make Tiffany Stratton the next big babyface on that brand, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you like how they executed this, like having her come out with the briefcase, teasing the cash in, but then that leads to the distraction for Nia to win?
I like it. They've done it like twice already. So that's the story. That's how we know that's the story they're trying to tell, right? Like, oh, Tiffany, is she going to cash in? Is she not? But if she cashes in, then Nia not happy. Now that Nia is the champion, it's like, will Tiffany backstab Nia? Will Nia mistreat her? Because now they're BFFs. So we gotta let this play out, obviously. And Nia just gave Tiffany a brand new pink money in the bank suitcase, briefcase with the handle and everything.
Yeah, is it a case of, in Malaysia they call it raswa,
Bribing.
bribery. Okay, what I mean by that, is it Nia's way of saying like, keep your friends close but keep your enemies closer? Is that what she's playing at?
I think so. I think what's going to happen is at some point Nia is going to destroy Tiffany. Because, she knows that she's a threat and she's like keeping an eye, right? So exactly to your point, it's like, all right, I'm going to buy you this beautiful looking briefcase so that you will not have the heart to cash it in. Because I think you're a dumb bimbo who only likes sparkly things.
That is pretty smart, yeah.
Yeah, that is an angle they can play up until Tiffany starts like, and I'm sure they'll play it out. Like she'll start having having a hankering for I want to take her title. I want to finally win it. And then they'll build it so that we also anticipate it as fans, right? It's interesting because now we always associate Money in the Bank with sort of that sudden win, that unfair advantage.
Yeah.
But to build a baby face with an unfair advantage, well, you need a dastardly heel that nobody likes, which is Nia Jax.
Yeah. Do you see Tiffany cashing it in before the end of the year?
Ooh. It depends on whether this storyline has legs or not.
I like Tiffany, and I think her heel character works right now. But I think we all can see the fact that there is a groundswell of support for her character. People love her. So is it a case of pulling the trigger while she's still holding the belt, making her a babyface, and then challenging for the title, or is it keeping her as a heel, being the opportunistic heel, taking advantage of the title?
I think the goal is to turn her face. So that's why they are biding their time to tell more of a story. Because if suddenly she can cash in right away and then she becomes a champion, it will be a very shallow championship win. Yeah, you'll get the pop. You'll get the, oh my God, yay, it's Tiffy time. But then after, the buzz will die off very quickly. Because she's not been established as a face.
Yeah. Very interesting because she won it as a heel. But the story that we want to see is how is she going to transition into that well supported babyface.
I feel like it will only happen once we start to see inklings of like, oh, you poor thing, she's getting bullied by Nia Jax. I think that has to happen before we start support, so that when she finally does say, fuck it, I'm going to cash it in, then we will support her. Then we will have that connection. It's like,
yeah, just like what we talked about last week. The funniest thing about all of this, right? This entire conversation we're having, right? Not once are we mentioning whether Bailey is gonna be involved or not. We're all moving on from Bailey already, is it?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it is true. She's like the Kofi Kingston lah. She deserved it at WrestleMania. She's been at the mountaintop several times already. Okay, like we've seen a passing of the torch, right? With characters or performers like Becky Lynch, like Bailey. You know, once their high has passed, now they are the veterans. They are, yes, when they win the title, it makes sense because they've been established. But their true purpose is to usher in the next generation.
Yeah. I think they are like the John Cena's and Randy Orton's at this point, right?
Yeah.
You gotta build up the new generation. I'm just curious to see where Bailey goes after this. Like, she might still be in the mix, but you know what I would love for her to do?
What?
Can you imagine she goes to NXT and then she mentors, people like Roxanne Perez, or like just mix up, like what Becky did last year, having that summer around in NXT. I think she needs that to refresh her character, because there's really nothing much for her to do left. In SmackDown, in my opinion.
True. Even going to Raw too. I don't know. Yeah, Bailey needs time off. And sorry.
No, I was just looking at the the chat, and I think somebody new just joined the chat. Collate Monster. Question: why did Dom and Finn turn? Okay, bro, we haven't even reached there yet. We'll talk about it a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, the best answer is Triple H decided that was the script. But anyway, we talk about Nia Jax, Bailey. Once again, another result that made sense that we all kind of predicted would happen. So, Drew McIntyre. Okay, to be fair, right, that string of 3 matches: Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, LA Knight, Logan Paul, Nia Jax, Bailey. To me, that felt like a dip in energy.
Yeah.
Did you feel the same?
When you play WWE 2K, right, you always need to start hot, but then you need the curve to go down a bit, and then ending must go back up. I think that's what it was lah. Somebody was playing WWE 2K, Triple H maybe.
There you go. Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, Seth Rollins, special guest referee. Oh no,
Okay.
Literally everybody came alive in the Discord when this match was going on.
For this segment, I gotta wrap my shirt.
CM Punk, there you go.
Roots of Fight, bro. All the way from US, I bought this shirt just for this match. No, I had this match for a while.
Meanwhile, I'm wearing another The Rock shirt.
Nice. Okay,
Final boss things.
Unfortunately, The Rock didn't appear.
Oh,
but
we forgot to mention they debuted something. I can't remember if it's new or just slightly different, and they haven't done it before. But the ref cam.
It was new. It was new for sure.
The very first match, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, had the ref cam. And they only used one shot. I swear, it felt like they only used one POV one time. 2 things. One, I wonder if they are setting up a WWE VR experience. Because UFC have done this before. There is a UFC experience where you put on the VR goggles, right? And then you can basically pretend like you're in the octagon with these 2 fighters fighting.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that this is an experience for people?
I don't know. Maybe it could be in the future, right? So this is definitely them experimenting with it as well. So you got the ref cam, and then you can see the point of view of the referee when the shenanigans happens. You know what I mean? So I think it would make for really interesting footage and maybe even a VR experience. I'm just wondering if this is something they are experimenting with because UFC have done it before. And as we all know, TKO, same parent company. So they are probably like sharing ideas, right?
But on that account, it wasn't well executed lah this time round. I mean, it's new, but like I think some of the shots were just literally the referee just looking out the ring, and it's like just a very bad angle of the Titantron. You know,
it would have to be something edited heavily, I think. So, talking about the ref cam, I brought it up because Seth Rollins came out with the ref cam as well. But I think the difference is because if you realize halfway during the match, the ref cam kept coming out. So they just abandoned the damn thing halfway through. I think
it hasn't gotten, people won't get used to it so soon. That's probably what it is.
I think what it is, refs in general, regular refs, don't move around that much. Aren't so physical. They aren't flailing their heads around. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, he is Seth Rollins. He is like animated. He's like exaggerating his movements and motions. So I think it didn't quite work there.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
way.
Somebody on the internet said something like he is the proponent of high fashion in WWE. And then I'm like, I guess, sometimes when you look at like high fashion stuff, you're like, what the fuck is this guy wearing? That just doesn't make sense.
I don't get it, right? Yeah, no, we are
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not fashionistas, bro. I thought, and this is the weirdest thing to say about a wrestling match, I thought his pants were distracting AF. The silver sparkly pants, the top, the outfit with the rhinestones and the glitter, that was fine. But the
Yeah, yeah.
pants were so distracting.
Bro, was the pants made from the same material as Shockmaster's helmet or not? Because the glitter same, bro. Right.
Oh yeah, dude. To me, it was way too distracting.
Yeah. I mean, I wish he's. You know what? I would have rather he wore tiny whitey tights like how Shawn Michaels did it. The backlash.
Yeah.
That freaking like boy shorts. Like I rather
Yep.
he wore that than wore what he did.
So, okay, just to set the context, right? Interestingly enough, and I'm sure most of you realize this also, this whole Drew McIntyre CM Punk is inspired a lot by HBK versus Bret Hart.
Yeah, 1997 SummerSlam as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And like they even sort of alluded to 1997 here with the match in 1997 SummerSlam was Undertaker versus Bret Hart, HBK special guest referee.
Yes, correct. They did. And the interesting thing about that is definitely somebody from that match or producing that match would have kind of figured out the reference. And I think they lean into it because
Bro,
they had
it's
CM Punk wear, his
pink.
Owen Hart, pink
Yeah.
Hart colors as
The
well.
whole feud has been Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. If you look at all
Yeah,
the inferences and references, that's exactly where the Drew McIntyre being this bitter sort of guy, CM, like there's absolute inspiration they've taken, and we all know CM Punk is a massive fan of Bret Hart as well, right?
Yeah, and Seth Rollins is the Shawn Michaels guy, we all
Yeah.
know as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of comparisons there.
So the match, like we kind of guessed, was very much a punch kick brawl style match. And I even said it in the Discord, I'm like, it makes sense because I really don't think Punk is at the level where he can do athletic moves and slams. Even when he came off the top rope with the elbow drop, it was damn funny because it looked really weird.
Yeah, he felt ass first as opposed to elbow first for some reason.
It's like he overcompensated to land a certain way. It looked very bad.
Okay, you know me, I'm the biggest CM Punk fan. But also I also can look at reason, right?
Yeah.
And logic.
Yeah.
He's old, right? I mean, I know he's just a year older than you, but I mean, he's old lah.
No, it's not that he's old. He has a lot of mileage.
Yeah, maybe that's the right word. Yeah,
He's put his body through a lot. This is the wrestling industry after all, right? And at the end of the day, they have short shelf lives because of the damage that they put on their bodies. And he wrestles that way now.
And he doesn't wrestle like, Stone Cold in his later careers where he just punch kick. Like for the majority of his career, he was flying around.
Yep.
He was getting thrown around by Brock Lesnar's and Rybacks and and he's a smaller sized guy. So he definitely has put his body through a lot.
Yep.
And I did commend him because he did look good in this match in the sense that he did bulked up physically I think to be able to handle whatever violence or brutality that Drew McIntyre wanted to dish out to him. But he has definitely gone down a step lah. Like I can see, it's very clear. Like probably the last great match he had was him versus MJF, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like
Fair.
that match, he was still like very sharp. He could still tell a story, but he was smart with how he played it. The Hangman match with him, I think, was the start of his downfall, and everything else after that was just he just wasn't that good on TV.
It's just hard to come back off layoffs and injuries like that.
Multiple injuries, yeah.
Yeah, I think he bulked up here so that he could, wrestling is a visual art as well, right? So he could look impressive versus Drew McIntyre, but you definitely can tell. But here's the thing that he does have that a lot of people don't have. He's an amazing storyteller and a seller.
Yeah,
and that is why he can still have matches going into the quote-unquote later parts of his career because he's not out there killing himself doing shit that looks bad or fake, right?
Yeah. It wasn't a 5-star match, right? Let's be clear.
No.
But I think what propelled this match was the emotions from both characters, is the palpable hate both people
Yeah.
had for each other, to the point that the moment the bell rang and they started like hockey fighting, everyone was like cheering, was crazy.
Dude,
That's
there
what
was
sold the match.
There was a "This is awesome" chant in a match that was pretty much a brawl. There was no crazy flips and shit like that. No, because they built up the story. And we were talking about it like they never even touched each other. Well, they kind of did, but they haven't had a match, and already the anticipation is so high. And this is only the beginning of the feud. This could very well lead into WrestleMania at this point. You know, you talk about long-term storytelling. I made the joke, like now you have Drew versus CM Punk, Seth Rollins special guest referee, right? Then next you need to make CM Punk versus Seth, Drew as special guest referee. Then after that you can have Seth versus Drew, CM Punk special guest referee. And then
everyone
after
take
that,
turn.
then finally you can have the triple threat match at WrestleMania.
That's hilarious. Like I found it so hilarious because like there was this inkling feeling that what if Seth Rollins is like clearly be an asshole as a guest referee and like screw up both of them. But I like that tension. Like that actually added a lot to the match. You didn't know who or what Seth was gonna do and how is he gonna react to certain situations. So even the part where I remember Seth, I think Drew was took out a chair.
Yep.
And then he told Seth like, I know you want this as well as I do. Let's take this company to new heights. Just turn around and let this happen. It was, and then he did it for a moment, and that kind of little things like got me way invested into the match.
Yeah. And then, of course, he stopped him because he's still a good guy at heart. You know, he's like, oh, no, that's too far. They were telling stories in the ring, right? And it's a lot. Well, like I said, they've taken a lot of inspiration from Shawn Michaels when he was the special guest referee in that SummerSlam match back in 1997. So, once again, I enjoyed the hell out of it. We all kind of knew this was not going to be the finish, so Drew winning made sense. There was the whole thing about the bracelet as well. When the second Seth picked up the bracelet and put it on himself, I was like, oh, they confirmed misunderstanding incoming already. Confirm some shit. They said, why do you have it? What the hell are you doing? Are you trying to screw with me? Blah, 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 blah. And it became a whole thing, and that led to the finish, right?
Yeah, I mean, the bracelet did play a whole lot into the match. What do you think of that? Was it too much? Was it just the right amount?
That it was necessary. Look, at the end of the day, right? Like we've talked about, CM Punk isn't the guy that can go anymore. He needs the gaga, the emotion, all these distractions to make the match interesting. Because if it was just Drew versus CM Punk, it would be a shit match.
Bro, are you saying that he's like the Hulk Hogan 2002 version now?
Ironically, a little bit. No. I felt like, and then to Big E's point, it's just a bracelet. It's not AJ.
It's just a bracelet, bro. Not your dog, what?
It's the meaning of it. You know, sometimes we hold on to items from our loved ones or some things that we care about. So this is to lead into the whole story of how you remember Drew screwed himself at WrestleMania. Now CM Punk screwed himself over something minor.
Yeah. I even kind of recognize that the fact that both of them blinded by emotions that costed them the match. So and now they're even, so they have more time to tell another chapter to the story right now.
But now that chapter also includes Seth Rollins.
I like it. And the best part is this is not even for the title. So this is another segment of Raw that is gonna be highly rated. I mean, come on,
Bro, hear me out.
What?
The bracelet has more prestige than the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I said it!
I mean, I ain't gonna start smoke with anyone. I already did what I did last week. You can carry on, Mr. Young.
Bro,
carry on.
Can you disagree that bracelet probably draws more money at this point than, you know, the World Heavyweight Championship over on the other side?
CM Punk draws more money, bro. CM Punk is still him.
The bracelet championship is more prestigious than the content. Okay, anyway.
I ain't gonna dig any holes with you, Mr. Young.
Okay, look, at the end of the day, it was pretty much a storytelling match
Yeah, it was what it was. I never expected it to be a 5-star classic.
Nope.
I know CM Punk at this point in his career can't go, but someone else said a very interesting line, and I think you know what, I'm gonna lean into it. The
Okay.
fact that we all know CM Punk is fragile in his body,
Yeah.
I think lends a lot more drama into his match, even, bro. I would
It does.
argue.
Bro, the whole match through, I was looking at Discord, people were like, hey, is he going to be okay or not? Hey, he did the top rope elbow drop. Is he okay or not? Like, everyone's literally worried that he might injure himself again.
Yeah, and that's invested emotion. So hey, if he leans into it, why not, right?
Sekali, this whole time, he's actually 100% perfectly fit. And it's him actually working. Okay, I think I might be reading too much into it. But can you imagine? He is so smart that he has us all believing that he's fragile just to get emotions out of us.
Bro, this is why, right? Like, I love it if a wrestler actually acknowledges their age and their decline.
Yep.
Instead of, I love Sting, but Sting at 60 plus jumping off and flying around like, can somebody just, if you're old, can you just act old? I'm just, just say.
Actually, CM Punk in interviews has said that a lot of what you think about him is, is something that he works to. Like, if you think about me in this way, that's great. It works in my favor. So I actually believe that he's smart enough to do that.
Yeah, or it's just maybe like it does, he is struggling in the ring, but it's not as if he's struggling so bad. But I think he just knows how to take a bit of it and then that really go 100% with it.
I tell you who else has been doing it as well. Randy
What?
Orton. Every match is macam his back gonna explode. All right?
Yeah. He's forever holding his back, selling it. But bro, the guy looks fucking amazing. Like,
yeah. So there you go. I think a lot of it is also, once again, it's a visual sport. It's the presentation. They know how to pull emotion out of us. And I think in a lot of ways, CM Punk is milking it a little bit more.
Yeah. And I disagree with anyone who says like, oh, people who do it less are just lazier or like don't want to get hurt or what. No, I don't think so. I think sometimes you have a limited number of bumps you can take in your career. Give it out,
Sparingly.
Just sparingly, right? Be strategic with that.
Don't freaking. Okay, anyway, you know where I was gonna go with that. Let's talk about anything else you want to talk about with this.
No,
I'm just excited that this story just started. Literally, even though the build-up was already like, it feels like so long since WrestleMania. Right? No, even before that, since
8 months already, bro.
Yeah. They finally lay hands on each other, and it only feels like the first chapter, bro. That is insane to me. That is kudos to them.
Bro, this is my early contender to be rivalry of the year. I don't think anything else will match up to this easily for this year. So hey, CM Punk guy,
sure not.
Delivering.
Sure not. Yeah. How about I'm trying to think of a few from AEW and I can't think.
You can't even think of anything, bro.
I'm trying to be a dick, but I can't think of anything. So the best thing to do is move on. Gunther! Yes. And we, noted in our Discord that Gunther has not been appearing with Kaiser. Now, Kaiser has been doing his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But do you like the presentation that Gunther is now his own man?
Okay, I do not know the situation with Kaiser. I don't know whether he's injured or taking a break, blah, blah, blah. But I think Gunther needs it. I think Gunther needs to have his aura by himself. I mean, it's the solo Sikoa issue as well, right? You don't want the fact that you're always with your gang distract you from your ability to stand out on your own. It's the right move, lah.
I think Gunther, even from his NXT days when he was alone, right? He already had the aura. So, and Kaiser, they are trying to repackage him. That he's been cutting these really awesome promos and like promo packages. So they're probably
great matches as well.
Great matches.
Having great matches. Yeah.
Yeah. So they are trying to just separate them a little bit. And I think to your point, it works. Now he doesn't need his lackeys. He is his own guy and he's a destroyer in the ring versus Damian Priest. Okay, if royalty is putting out the crying emojis already, heartbreak emojis already.
Corner, just wait up. We're gonna talk about him in a bit. That's the main event. Let's talk about Gunther and Damian Priest because this match to me is the one that exceeded expectations and pre-match hype because nobody thought that this match was worth a damn before it was announced.
And kudos to the WWE and Papa H for giving us reasons to give a shit, right? In the last few, this was like the, study at the last minute and finally did well sort of fella at class.
Yeah, this just proved that you can do a 2-week or 3-week build and it actually means something.
Yeah.
Literally.
I think it helps that these two, from a wrestling standpoint, this might have been the best match, as in best wrestled match, because everything looked
Yeah.
painful and it looked like a fight, is what it did, right? And
Yeah.
at one point, Gunther had like, I don't know how you get blood on your chest. How do you bleed from the chest? Or did he just pop a pimple? Or what was going on? But he was bleeding from the chest. How the hell does that happen?
I saw you say that was hilarious. No, like, that's the thing, right? Like, I think this match made me pay attention more to Damian Priest. Like, hey, Damian Priest can brawl with the best of them. Damian Priest can take a lot of punishment and dish them out as well. We all know Gunther can do that, but I think this made Damian Priest. And it's interesting to see his trajectory, especially the last couple of months. And I think I know why this match worked, right? Even though this was a new so-called feud between Gunther and Damian, they don't really have history before this. But I think because both of them are becoming more fully formed characters themselves, like separately. Like we all know Damian Priest's struggles, his dynamics in the Judgment Day, his need to prove himself. That combined with Gunther's prestige and how he's always been carrying himself and all the history of the IC champion, you just put two very fully formed characters together, even though they got no history. You just the natural differences and natural, unique perspective just makes them very interesting together.
And the additional layer, you talk about fully formed. I think Damian Priest will only be fully formed, who will reach his peak after Raw, when we see what the fallout is, right? Because, of course, we need to talk about the betrayal, which had been hinted at. I know some people didn't expect both betrayals, the Dirty Dom betrayal and the Finn Balor betrayal, to happen at the same time. But I was fully convinced that was exactly what was going to happen. There's going to be a new Judgment Day on Raw, headed by Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, JD McDonough, and Carlito. Carlito's not going to be leader. He's a joke character now. He's a side piece right now, right?
There was some foreshadowing as well, because the moment, Rhea got turned on by Dominic backstage, Damian Priest was like screaming at Finn and saying like, "Oh, do you know?" And he had to reassure him. He said like, "Okay, we're gonna go look for him." Like all those things, I thought was like brilliant foreshadowing.
Bro,
in my opinion.
there was this one line, right? He was like, "Thanks for trusting me." Or thanks for putting your trust in me. That was his final line to Priest. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Or like we the part where he offered to be there for him.
Yeah.
Like, we can be there at ringside for you if you want to. Like, I think I was like, what, was this a tease? Is Finn gonna come out? Like, we know.
Yeah.
But it was like a great tease.
But I mean, they even, like, let's throw it back to when Seth had that conversation with Damian Priest backstage on that one Raw, where he told him, it's like, that whole stipulation of you need to step out of the group. That's why when they had their championship match, there was the stipulation, right? Like, if you lose, you would have to leave the Judgment Day. Basically, Seth's whole point was, I broke out of my group and I scaled to new heights in my career. You have to do the same. So I feel like that was a little bit of both kayfabe and not, right? So now Damian Priest, he breaks out from the group and he will go on to obviously feud with Finn Balor. And I think that will build him as a character, as a likable champion, a lot more than the stuff that he's done before.
Yeah, and from Judgment Day's point of view, from Finn's point of view, it's justified for him to be angry. Because I remember during that feud where he so-called put that stipulation with Seth, right? He said something along the lines of like, I don't need the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day needs me more than I do. So it's like, he can use it against him, right? He can say, "Oh, you don't respect us. You don't appreciate what we've done for you. Okay, screw you."
Bro, there is so much to throw back to when WWE production finally do their package, right? All the little, references, all they can pull out one. They've done this all on purpose. We know it, even dating back to the original formation. Like, before the Judgment Day even, Finn and Liv were in an alliance.
Yes, yeah. And speaking of packages, I know they've been putting out the packages before SummerSlam, but during the actual event, and they played it right before the matches. Wow, like the Damian Priest one was so good.
Yep.
Made me more sympathetic towards his character. Even the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre one, with they used like hardcore rock music. I was like, oh man, Ruthless Aggression era back again.
It was
So
it
it's
was
really
so
good.
good. Oh, before we get to the main event, what did you think of? And I think this might be one of the first times they've done it as well. Jelly Roll, the guest artist, he performed, right? So before a pay-per-view, they always have the theme song together with prepackaged action
Yeah,
scenes and cuts, right?
the opening package. Yeah.
This time, the opening package was done live with cuts to the action. What do you think of that?
Okay, even though we haven't seen it for a very long time,
Have we ever
they've
seen
done
it?
they've done it before, and I'm gonna pull up a very deep cut. Probably
Okay.
something you probably have forgotten, but for some reason, this mind has some weird Xavier memory bank. That I can
Okay,
pull out
okay.
from.
Hit me.
So Survivor Series 2002.
Wow.
Remember that was New York City, Madison Square Garden, the first ever Elimination Chamber.
Uh-huh.
They actually, last time back in the day, WWE pay-per-views, they had the world
Yeah.
play at the same time
Yeah.
as like happening or broadcasting at the same time as the pay-per-view.
Mm.
So before the match started for I believe for the pre-match hype for the Elimination Chamber before the chamber went down,
I
they actually
remember.
had Saliva
Mm.
play that freaking amazing theme song. I love you, I hate you,
hate you.
I just think
Oh my
about
God.
you. Do you remember this?
Yes, actually, now that you bring it up, I do remember it. But have they done it for an opening package for the whole pay-per-view before?
No, they haven't.
So this is a first.
That I think it is a first, like the
Okay.
fact that they actually played a live one, and it was great. I think there was a purpose to it, right?
Yeah. See, that is always a very tricky, very because some bands can do it live, some cannot. I think Jelly Roll did great. But we've seen some entrances where they do the live performance and it sounds like absolute dog shit. DX.
Yeah, I remember Chris Warren.
One time, is this on?
Yeah, Jelly Roll is good. Like
Yeah,
I mean, his music has been quite like mainstream, right? Recently, I mean, you
Yes.
as a radio DJ, his
Well, I
stuff
mean-
is it on radio?
Because no, not on Singapore radio, but because he leans more towards the country side of things, country music, and we just
Okay.
don't play country music here.
I know, but I feel like he has like a song that is like mainstream with like one of the artists he collaborated with. I can't remember. But yeah, he's really good. And the band, I'm a drummer. I came from a drumming background, so I could appreciate the drummer being not overpowering to the
Yep.
band.
Yep.
He sounded good. It was all balanced. So yeah, I think it was a great opening. The funny thing about that was like when Triple H came out, right?
Mm.
And Triple H was like, "Oh, are you ready? Welcome to SummerSlam." And then one more time, Jelly Roll. I'm like, Jelly Roll still in the ring.
Stephanie McMahon was in the crowd.
Oh, that was interesting. Did you see? I think someone said on the Discord, CM Punk after his match hugging Stephanie McMahon. Very interesting, huh?
Conspicuous by his absence and feeding into the rumors. There was an empty seat next to Stephanie. I wonder if it was left for a certain brother. I mean, I wonder. Okay, we'll get into it in just a bit and what it could mean, whether it means anything at all, right? But
Yeah.
We'll save
We
it.
can talk about it.
Chat, remind us if we forget. Let's get to the main event. Oh, before the main event, Miz and R-Truth came out to hype out the crowd, and then they had the whole shenanigans with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
I feel like, yes.
No lah. The thing that popped me was when R-Truth said, "Oh my God, it's the Rock and Roll Express," and I was like, "Nah, Jim Cornette is not gonna be here with them." So like, nah, that can't be the case. But it made me pop for just a minute.
Yeah. I feel like with Austin Theory and what's his face? Grayson Waller, right?
Grayson Waller, yeah.
The funny thing is it's like if only I could combine the two of them together into one person. Because for whatever reason, Austin Theory, his mic work is just not there, right? And Grayson Waller doesn't have the physique or the gifted athleticism. I'm not saying Grayson Waller is bad in the ring, but obviously Austin Theory is the more gifted one. I wish you could combine the two of them into one person,
I get what you mean, because I think Grayson has the mic skills that Austin lacks.
Yeah.
And Grayson's not by no means doesn't have a good body. I'm just saying that compared to Austin Theory has that prototypical WWE superstar body, right?
Yeah.
But they're becoming jobbers, bro.
They are. Oh,
Their
talking
job
about
literally is to take bums from all the guest hosts. You realize, right?
from celebrities, from like whoever, like they go to Saudi Arabia, they gonna hantam by some actor. Now they gonna hantam,
Comedian.
yeah, by Jelly Roll. So I'm like,
They
oh,
had a boxer a couple of weeks back also
oh
punched
yeah, yeah,
him.
correct. So they are just those guys. They are the Miz. They're the Miz.
Yeah. Or I remember there was a period when the Miz and Morrison had to be that the jobbers to everyone.
Yeah.
Is it more of like a seasoning or like, Triple H trying to make them earn their paycheck for a bit?
I think so. At least they're not like DIY lah. Win the tag team titles only to
Ugh.
feed
Poor
the
guys.
Tongans. And talking about the poor Tongans, okay, let's get to the main event then. Now let's talk about Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And oh man, okay, so this is Bloodline Rules match. So to me, it didn't make sense that Solo came out by himself. Like he literally walks out by himself. And you know how some people, like for example, we talk about Gunther, he cuts an imposing figure, right? Drew McIntyre, when he poses on the top of ring, scary AF. When I feel like Solo has the Bobby Lashley Omos problem.
Okay.
Even though he's a big guy, even though he's a physical specimen, impressive athletically as well, for whatever reason, when I look at his face, I'm like, I'm not scared.
Solo got no aura, is it?
Yeah,
As the
I
kids
even
say.
said this. Yeah, as the kids say, he has no aura. Like you compare it to Jacob Fatu, who has
Yeah.
tons of aura.
That's the thing, right? So when Solo came out,
Mm.
I was like, he come out by himself a bit boring, eh? Like,
Yeah, no, exactly.
don't feel anything, eh? Yeah.
Like I know they were trying to hold back the Tongans so that they could have them interfere later. But whenever he has come out with the Tongans, he looks good. He looks like a mob boss with the entire backup. So I'm scared, like, oh shit, it's gonna be a gang fight, right? But when he
Yep.
comes up by himself, I was like, ooh, it's not doing it for me, brother.
Yeah, like, no, because they've been always trying to build Solo as this like enforcer of the bloodline. He got a bit of that aura last time, but he was silent and he wasn't speaking. He was just taking orders. But now he has to kind of like deliver in terms of the promos.
Yeah.
They are trying to make him, and it's clear this SummerSlam was an opportunity for Solo to step up and be seen as a main eventer. And right off the bat, could you tell Cody Rhodes was really doing his darndest to build up
Yes.
Solo and sell for him, right?
Yeah, we'll jump back to the entrance by Cody in a bit. But dude, that was exactly my comment on the Discord. I'm like, Cody is trying his best to put this guy over. He is selling for him. He's making every shot look like it's gonna end Cody's life.
Yeah. Yeah. Testament to Cody Rhodes, because for the longest time, Cody Rhodes was the guy that people had to build for him. But now
Yep.
he's become that guy. He's become John Cena already. So respect his rise. Yeah. What about that Cody Rhodes entrance?
Starting from the bus. Okay, so the whole time I was like, hey, what happened to the behind the scenes camera? You know, the one that follows the guy? They were doing this quite consistently for a while. Then they stopped. I think they realized they were doing it too much.
Yeah, they pick and choose, right? Right.
You should only do it when it's special, and I think the main event of SummerSlam is special, so it makes sense for them to do it with Cody. But why they freaking start from the bus all the way to the backstage area, then the dog come, which was a cute moment. Thank God they didn't bring the dog out, right?
Yeah, I was very worried about the fireworks for the dog.
Again, yeah, no, he learned his lesson already. And then Arn Anderson. Okay, he apparently his contract with AEW ran out. Right?
Yeah.
I was surprised he didn't mention the Glock, but this is WWE, so yeah.
Bro, the Glock, bro. Everyone was like, where is Arn and the Glock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah.
He did mention, oh, you have friends. And then there was one point where, Cody pointed up. So I was like, oh, was there a subtle fingers up reference to Roman Reigns?
I see.
I mean, now
Yeah,
that we look back, it's easy to guess lah.
Yeah. And I was thinking when he was saying he got friends, and then he hinted it. I was like, what? He bringing some friends, old friends for AEW or what? What's going on there, right?
No lah. People are like, oh, Ricky Starks. But I'm like, Ricky Starks is not a big enough name. We all love him. We think he's incredibly talented. But bringing Ricky Starks in this way crowd would have been like, who the f is this guy?
Yeah. It makes sense for later on, you brought back your comrades that was, destroyed by the bloodline in recent weeks, which we'll talk about later on. But The whole thing was a bit long. A long walk. I think Solo Sikoa could have taken a toilet break and come back. But when he reached the right at the gorillas area and then he wore the mask, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I'm not a fan.
Aura is there.
Yes, Aura, he does have it. I'm not a fan of the mask because it's too big for his head. I understand that they have to make something easy for him to put on and take off, but it makes him look like a damn bobblehead.
That-
You know, like when the head is too big.
Yeah.
Like okay, for example, like Andrade's mask, it's kind of tight, form fitting,
Skin
so
tight.
so it doesn't look like a bobblehead. But whenever Cody wears that mask, it makes him look like a damn bobblehead.
We need to feedback this to the mask makers over there in WWE, for this.
No, but I get it. Like I said, it cannot be a mask that's too hard to take out. Then he will like spend time trying to struggle with it, putting it on, taking it off. So I get it, but yeah, it's just a weird little like, OCD thing.
Reminds me of who or not? Like
Taskmaster, bro. That's the Taskmaster loose mask.
Yeah, Taskmaster. Is giving me like Thor. You know the Thor Ragnarok where he had the mask with the wings.
Oh, the helmet, yeah.
Yeah, if he had done it something like that, it would be really cool. Somebody say he looks a bit like Sephiroth. with all the freaking flowing robes and the freaking headpiece, that would be interesting. But yeah, I get what you mean, lah. But the pageantry, it was worth it, I guess.
The match itself, like we said, was a lot of Cody trying to make Solo or put Solo over. And I'm still not convinced with Solo's intensity. He comes across as a guy who's trying to be intense instead of being intense.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? This was Solo's opportunity to step up. But I just think he's not there yet, still.
Bro, aura. We keep going back to that word, but, I really... Like, Okay, we'll get to that in a bit. But let's talk about the interference, which we all knew would happen. Which, like... I don't know. I don't understand. They made this a Bloodline rules match, so why didn't the Tongans come out with him right away?
I mean, but if you remember the Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes match, they didn't come out until towards the end of the match as well. They wanted to give that shine to the match.
Okay, the point was they set it up this way so that they could have the interference and then the save. Interference and the save, right? But the problem is we already saw that at WrestleMania. So here it just doesn't make sense already. Like, so you know that they were setting up that whole sequence.
Do you realize like the crowd was actually a bit quiet for the interferences?
Yeah. How do you top the interferences? How do you top John Cena, freaking Undertaker?
Yeah.
You can't. And Raw. So there was... I actually kind of hated that they tried to do it again because you can't top it. You should do something different. Yeah.
And the crowd all was sitting on their hands because they know what they want. They just want one guy to appear. They don't care about all these things. So they were it's almost like they were biding time, letting it like roll out. But if I want to say something positive is I love the GOD outfits. I thought that them wearing skin tight like evil Avengers with Tonga Loa with the eye patch, like that, those looks were nice.
Bro. Every moment that he's out there in a high profile match, Tonga Loa gives us a highlight, or should we say low light?
Oh, dear God.
Oh, did you see what he did?
Of course I did.
He went to spear or whatever Cody, but his aim, I think maybe the eye patch, his aim salah, he couldn't get him into the turnbuckle, he got him into the ropes. Oh my God, like what the hell? Like at this point, I wonder if he's doing it on purpose. Okay, let's fuck up so that the internet has something to laugh about.
You know what? Tonga Loa should just wear the eye patch and just stand at the corner. I think that's his position. That's what makes him look intimidating. In no way should he do any wrestling moves at this point.
No, he should, so we get moments.
No, you know what's funny? You know for a fact WWE was thinking like, okay, maybe we should make GOD the bloodline holders or the tag team titles. Yeah. But then one time they look at Tonga Loa's ring word, they're like, you know what? Never mind. Let's make it Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga.
No, but then how? Jacob Fatu injured also.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shall we? We don't mean. Okay, we don't mean to laugh.
You think that was legit or not?
Oh yeah. Like okay. So here's the thing. Let me get past.
Okay. You calm down, bro.
Okay, you know what? Tonga Loa is a gem. He must be protected because he makes our lives filled with laughter and joy, and that's what we watch wrestling for.
I will never forget his ass his ass tap on Kevin Owens. Tap the
ass tap.
ass. Tap the ass.
He followed the ass tap with a punch to his brother's face.
Oh, yeah. He punched his face. When he was doing the far driver, right? Oh, fucked up.
And then now he delivered Cody into the ropes. Salah lah. Sorry, one eye missing. Can't see.
Wasn't there that one match where I think somebody did like a suicide dive and then he bounced his head off and it was really bad? Oh no, it was the same match.
It was the same match, so he got concussed. So poor guy.
His head was so concussed that he tapped the ass. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Okay, so unintentional humor by Tongaloa. I love it, right? So, okay, then the return of Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to neutralize the Tongans. Now, does it feel like they weren't gone long enough for this to have been bigger? Because when you talk about Cena coming back, he was away for how long, right? When you talk about Undertaker, obviously he's been away for so long. But how many weeks has it been since KO and Randy were taken out?
Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks for Randy, 2 weeks for KO.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like it was long enough. You know what I mean?
That's why when KO and Randy returned, there was a pop, but it wasn't like a mega pop. Like,
No.
oh, holy shit, you know. It's fine because I think it makes sense in the context that they were his established allies. Anyone else would have been random, to be honest.
True. Yeah. Looking back, it would have been true. So the whole time before the match, they were like making John Cena references. So in a part of like my brain, I was like, maybe John Cena? Because he is making his comeback. John Cena has that history with Solo Sikoa because Solo Sikoa thumbed him like 1,000 times or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, there was no Cena.
Yeah, it would have made sense for Cena because I think Cena really wants to kick it off in 2025, his retirement tour.
And a lot of people were calling for it to be Jimmy. Now, you know, no disrespect to Jimmy, but I don't think he would have been the pop for a main event match, main event moment like that. He's not going to be, you know, the guy.
Somebody said it could have been Jey Uso instead. But I think it's too early to get Jey back into the storyline also.
Yeah. I mean, looking back on it, I think we came to a consensus. It would have to be either Roman or Brock.
Yeah.
There was no other person at all.
If anything else would have been a letdown, right?
Yes,
remember
anything.
We were saying this?
Like even The Rock, I think it's too soon.
Yeah, maybe. I know I gave that theory. The thing about Solo is that the longer the match went, the more convinced I feel like Solo by himself as a top star is not enough.
Nope.
He will always need someone else to kind of bring him up. So if he didn't win,
you were the Solo pun intended. You were the Solo like supporter of Solo winning the titles. Yeah, you're the only one.
No, because I think he needed it the most, and I think I've been proven right because if he didn't win the title, now the story is gonna be overwhelmed by him gonna get his ass beaten up by the returning tribal chief.
Bro, Lysander says Jay is chasing after Mami, so nothing else matters now.
That one is
forget about bloodline nonsense. He just wants his rear, man.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all good. But with Solo, the reason why I wanted him to win the title was because if he didn't win the title, he doesn't go anywhere. Because he's clearly can't overshadow or overpower Rock. Even if he was gonna be Roman Reigns, even if he gonna be pitted against Roman, right? Everyone knows the real final boss behind pulling the strings of Solo is not Solo Sikoa.
It's Rock.
The final boss. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is the point. At the end of it, they are like, okay, let's try to elevate Solo a little bit, but ultimately, Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania on Netflix. That is the end goal. Right? So all this stuff is just to build to that. The Rock's not going to come back to WrestleMania. Let's be real. You know, he needs to have that main event status. But okay, so the shenanigans, blah, blah, blah. Jacob Fatu comes out, right? Destroys Cody, does that table spot. Okay, that table spot, it looked like he landed really awkward on the knee and ankle, hitting the table. The way he sold it after, and this is what I like when we talk about aura, right? Even though he was injured, he was still like a wild man. He was swinging chairs. He was like, come on, get him. I fucked my up, right? You know, he like you compare just Jacob and Solo. I'm like, Jacob is really the guy with the aura.
Yeah, and even when he was supposedly injured, he was like, "No, you go take him now. I
Yeah.
already beat him up. You go finish the
Yeah.
job." Like he was directing traffic. And can we just take a couple of steps back and
Yeah.
appreciate how beautiful his Tiffany Stratton like moonsault was?
Oh my god, yeah. So that's to me that is like now you have all these cruiserweights doing the moonsault, right? I'm like,
Nah.
what is that? What is that? What that looks like nothing compared to Jacob Fatu being able to do it so gracefully as well, and with that weight size coming down on you, it's like all these cruiserweights can go and f off already.
Bro, Jacob Fatu and Iva is the scariest sight you will see lying down waiting for a moonsault to come on top of you, bro.
They
Yeah,
should
yeah.
they should do the ref cam on the guy taking that moonsaults, yeah.
Yeah. If there's one small criticism I feel about Jacob Fatu is right. Okay.
Yeah.
During WrestleMania when Cody Rhodes had Roman Reigns in the Crossroads, Solo can still kind of pop up from nowhere and then do the Samoan spike.
Yeah.
It can be literally out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But how are you gonna tell me that Cody Rhodes completely didn't see a big ass size Samoan run past him,
Yeah.
jump up and do whisper in the wind to him? You know what I mean?
Well,
There's too much delay.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So sometimes you have to just be like, oh, okay, law. Because I also noticed this, like a lot of times you could see Cody is like side-eyeing. Like he's like waiting for the cue.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, he's very obvious. He not John Cena levels of obvious, but John Cena was literally shouting moves at people.
Yeah.
But,
Come on, get up. Do this, hit me.
Yeah, not that level, but clearly when he was holding him in position, he was waiting for something to happen. So yeah, took me out a bit.
I mean, I guess we're nitpicking because at this level, it kind of needs to be perfect, right? This is the main event.
Yeah, but not even perfect. I think when you really again grading things at a curve, generally all the things that you expect to be good are going to be good.
Yep.
So it's really what is that next level? What else could they make it better by? Right?
Maybe Jacob needs then it'll be a super kick lah. He needs a non-top rope finisher or move. Like I know he has a Samoan drop that looks pretty brutal as well because he kind of. Not only does he toss his opponent on his shoulder, when he throws them backwards, right? He like yeets them essentially.
Yeah, and he flies. His leg also swings out from underneath.
Yeah.
I thought his finisher was he did that like an impaler DDT thing that kind of looked pretty brutal as well.
But you see, that's the difference between a strike finisher. Like, Solo Sikoa is a strike, right? So you can do it while he's holding on to somebody. Whereas you can't do an impaler DDT to Cody while he's holding on to Solo Sikoa.
No, I completely get it. Jacob Fatu has a very interesting moveset. Again, a moveset is really important. It makes you memorable as a character. LA Knight can take notes from Jacob Fatu in his moveset, bro.
Okay, so Jacob Fatu, I hopefully it's not a long-term injury. Maybe it's just like a bruise or a stinger or whatever, right? Just a tweak. Yep. Because if he is out, then what's going to happen with the tag team titles? You just gave the tag team titles to Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Unless they're going to free bird rule it.
Yeah, like clearly Tonga Loa is going to step up and be the new guy. But come on, I want to see Tonga Loa in the ring. Let's go.
Do we really want to see Tonga Loa? Oh, yes, we do. We need comedy in wrestling. So, okay, you got Jacob Fatu doing his thing, and then now Cody's on the ropes again. He's going to lose. And then... Dung, dung. And they remixed it. Do you notice they remixed his intro music into something a little bit more heroic versus something more ominous, which was his previous music?
Bro, I did it. I called it, bro. I remember I said, hey, shit, they're using that WrestleMania version of the theme. So that version, I think I remember they played it live. They had like a live orchestra play at WrestleMania 40, remember?
With
they
the
had
drums.
The toms and all the timpanis and all that. That version, right, I thought really elevated that championship bout. And the fact that now they're going to use that version of the team going forward, I think that makes it all the more incredible. Like that, I think that team is even better than the original team in my humble opinion.
Well, the original theme was for a final boss evil like if you think about it, right, like that final theme felt like a final boss fight in a game where you're going up against the big evil boss. This one sounds like the Avengers coming to rescue, the epic fight scene.
Yeah, or like Sephiroth coming down to,
It's a slight change, but they are more, how do I put it? his original theme had more minor keys. His new theme, you
Wow.
notice, has more major keys.
Yeah, like you said, it's really more of like a epic hero returning to save the
Yep.
day. When he came out, he had a T-shirt. It says OTC.
Yeah.
I really thought it was the tea brand for some reason. Ulti Hut. I was
Okay.
like, hey, got Ulti Hut,
Bro, what if the ultimate swerve, bro? OTC, everyone of course is saying the original tribal chief, right? What if OTC stands for out the closet? And they're going a very different direction with
Hey.
Roman Reigns.
Bro, it's all good, bro. I don't think it's not the Netflix era just yet. Let's just put it that way.
This storyline has taken a very interesting turn. I'm here for it.
Uh,
Out the closet, bro.
yeah. Okay. How did Roman look returning? How did he look? How did he look to you?
He obviously he looks amazing, right? Like, and it's good that, you know, once again, WWE, they're very smart about it. Less is more. He just comes out, does what he needs to do, which is Superman punch Solo Sikoa, and you just assume, you understand, okay, yeah, he's there to put Solo in his place, because Solo is like that belligerent little child, right? And he just nods at Cody, slight nods, walks off. You don't need to give away too much. Now I have to watch Raw, SmackDown.
But even the part where he was walking and inching towards the ring, and then he started sprinting down. He was sprinting down as a swerve, I think, towards Cody Rhodes' direction, more towards Cody Rhodes. But then he halfway, but pivots and then do the Superman punch on Solo. I think the way it was just the trajectory of it was perfect.
Yeah, it's like the placement, right? Like, they obviously had it in their mind that he was going to swerve us. Like, oh, look, he's right. He purposely ran towards Cody, but at the last second, oh, nope, haha, I punched Solo.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Cody is your champion again. The finish. Now you have to watch SmackDown. You have to find out what is going on. Okay, I will give Solo credit here. At the end, where he's screaming and yelling like, "Why are they?" He looked legit pissed off.
Yeah,
like he looked like a brat whose toy has been taken away.
Yeah, I like that the analysis that you said. Like, he kind of reminds me of like this rich brat that got, you know, like the things swept up from underneath him. The whole acknowledgement of Roman Reigns just looking at Cody and just giving that nod, right? That was so powerful, because like, if you, again, a great thing about wrestling is everything has context, right?
Yeah.
There's always a reason why something is done. If you know somebody's history, it means even more. So to know after all the wars that they had the last 2 years, and then for him to just acknowledge him and like, you know what? We have had our wars, that chapter is closed. I want to focus on this bigger incoming civil war I'm going to have with my family. Yes, that was really powerful, because it's almost as if, like, you know, when you watch a really good Marvel movie and then like, you know that this guy coming to save the day, this particular scene is ending, but then he just hinted what's going to happen next in the next bigger movie. Same vibes.
Fiaz says Jacob Fatu holding him down while he was screaming was amazing. Yeah, it was cinema, is what we've, you know, said about WWE's programming. So there you go. That sets up obviously the next big four. What's the next big four?
Survivor Series.
And
War Games.
They need to cut William Regal out for it, but it's obviously now it's taking shape, right? War Games, you have Solo Sikoa, the Tongans, Jacob Fatu. Hopefully everyone is healthy. We try to minimize Tongaloa's botchiness. And maybe Hikalua or Zila Fatu, somebody else to join the group, right? So you have 5, right? I don't think Rock will be back yet, because Rock is the mastermind pulling the strings. 5 of them versus Cody, Roman, Sammy, Jay, and maybe a returning Jimmy?
Yeah, maybe. Well, definitely Paul Heyman should somehow factor into this. He comes back, that would be great.
Speaking of which, where Paul Heyman wasn't there, which was fine. I think Paul Heyman didn't need to be there, but also at the same time, it's like, it felt like something was missing. I hope that Paul Heyman comes back on SmackDown and you know, shows up with Roman Reigns.
I think the cool thing is War Games, I believe, is in Vancouver again. Is it? I remember Triple H made an announcement saying, like, you know, the whole city has been announced, blah, blah, blah. But we have, I would say, still got 2 more PLEs before Survivor Series, right? We got Bash at Berlin. we got Hell
Bad
in a
Blood.
Cell.
No, Bad Blood.
Yeah, Bad Blood.
So Survivor
Okay,
Series
yeah.
War Games is in November 30th, Vancouver, BC. Yes.
Yes, Vancouver. So we're gonna have Bash at Berlin, which is gonna be an awesome showcase for Gunther. They might not even have any bloodline presence there. This can be
Yep.
stretched out, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be Hell in a Cell. Will there be a Hell in a Cell between the
Bad Blood, bro. Bad Blood, not Hell in the Cell.
bro Bad Blood, aka there's gonna be a Hell in a Cell match, confirmed,
You think
right?
so? Okay, so and Cody is literally in the video promo, right? So what? Cody versus Solo Hell in a Cell?
I do not
want to
know.
see that.
I do not know. Have Cody gonna move on from the bloodline now that the bloodline is gonna have its own war? That's my question. And if that's the case, who's gonna step up to Cody during this period, right? But yeah, so there's a lot of permutations, a lot of things that is gonna happen. My hope is that they still build up Solo. They don't give up on Solo yet because we need Solo to be strong. Then this bloodline civil war can be interesting.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
like Solo is literally right now the proxy for The Rock, lah, and so he needs to be.
Yeah,
he needs to be portrayed as strong. Yes,
I think Solo is like Loki right now. Like Loki answers or works for Thanos right at that point in time for the first Avengers, right? Yeah. So he needs to do the dirty work first, try to take over the world. When he really, really, truly fails, that's when the final boss returns.
Hey, the Tongans still have the tag team titles, so that's something. They still have gold, bro.
Yeah. Okay, can we establish them a bit more? Make them like actual threats and not just lackeys right now, please.
Especially Tonga Loa.
Poor Tonga. My Tongan. Wait, MFT, remember? My favorite Tongan.
Oh yeah, what happened to that? Huh? They gave up on MFT. No need.
I don't know. Maybe MJF not happy. Maybe.
Okay. So that's SummerSlam, guys. In chat right now, let us know your number ratings. Upon 10, what would you give SummerSlam? Personally, even though, okay, like I said, the middle part a little bit it got kind of draggy, but I still think that because hype was so high, it kind of maybe to me, it underperformed a bit. I still give it a solid 8 upon 10.
I thought you're the one that didn't like it as much as me, but I'm gonna give it slightly lower, bro.
What?
Yeah, okay. I would say it's 7, maybe 7.5.
Okay.
Because I'm grading it along the same lines as Money in the Bank because I don't think both was better than the other.
Here's the thing. I didn't say I didn't like it. I said that because I'm talking about it like when you compare it to expectations. I think I expected it here. So I expected something high, but it just came slightly below expectations, but it's still high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it delivered on my expectations, 7.5. But the reason why I graded it lower than yours because in-ring wise, it didn't have the fireworks that I wanted. Like some of the matches, like for example, like Cody and Solo wasn't the match that I wanted. Like it wasn't that good.
It's because it's Solo lah. I'm sorry. It's Solo. It's just a Solo. And that match, was just a storytelling Avengers moment interference match. Gunther and Damian, I think we both can agree, was the wrestling match of the night, right?
That's the thing, right? Gunther and Priest was actually the best wrestled match in my opinion. In my opinion, like even though Drew and CM Punk was my most highly anticipated match, and I was happy with the finish and like what went down. As a match itself, it was a bit of a plodding match, like slower. So that kind of strikes off a bit of marks on my end because I expected it to be like a banger, but I think it made me realize that I can't expect bangers from CM Punk anymore. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Only on the mic.
Yeah, so that brought it down a bit, and of course everything else before that, like Sammy and Braun. If they went out with your idea, maybe I might have graded even higher. If they had done a shocking squash upset loss, it would be very interesting.
Yeah.
And then LA Knight, I think when you brought out the fact that LA isn't that good in the ring, I think this match really highlighted it because it highlighted how good Logan Paul was. So that brought down a couple of more marks. But overall still delivered in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a fun watch that didn't feel like I was, slogging my way through. You know what I mean?
The 4 hours passed by really fast, huh?
Was it 4?
7 to 11, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, it was 4 hours.
And it was an easy watch for 4 hours.
They have hit that formula. They are very good now with that, right? So you have your other, quote unquote, lower tier feuds or feuds that get staggered in between. So now when we go to Bash at Berlin, they'll probably have a Wyatt 6 match, but it won't feature a bloodline match. So now every part of SmackDown and Raw is interesting enough where you can stagger your feuds, you know?
Yeah, they can afford to leave out, Jey Uso from the card.
Yeah.
They could afford to leave out Wyatt Six stuff from the card. Like I really think they have so stacked with talent right now. They can pick and choose when to utilize them for pay-per-view. So kudos to WWE for that.
So there you go. That's SummerSlam, and I'm very excited to watch what's gonna unfold on Raw and SmackDown. Now let's very quickly, because we did address it earlier, right? Talk about the rumors that Shane McMahon has allegedly met up with Tony Khan and what that could mean going into All In, which is later this month.
It's not just rumors. Apparently, there's an actual legitimate photo that was leaked out.
Okay.
And the photo, the way Shane McMahon and Tony Khan look at the camera, they were like, "Bro, you shouldn't be taking photo, bro." They were not happy.
Yeah. They're like, "Hey, bro, you're gonna post this, right?" Do you want my take first, or you want to go ahead?
Please do so. Please give me your take.
Look, at the end of the day, it's a business deal. They're trying to do business negotiations. If anything or nothing comes from it, it could be either of those cases, right? So, even if Shane McMahon gets contracted by AEW to show up as an on-screen personality, it's not like Shane is going to suddenly become the booker. The main problem with AEW is its booking. We can all agree on this, right?
Yes.
So Shane showing up at All In or on Dynamite, will it pop a rating? Will it make people go, whoa? Yes, it will be a shocking moment.
Yeah.
But I do not have the trust in Tony Khan to book his quote-unquote return well. He's going to show up. It's going to be a thing for about 2 weeks. We've seen it with Saraya. We've seen it with Adam Cole. We've seen it so many times, bro. And yes, Shane McMahon is a McMahon. It will be a big deal. It'll be a big deal for 2 weeks. That's my take.
I don't disagree with you. I just feel like the whole irony of a McMahon becoming the challenger brand to WWE in itself will definitely be water cooler talk, will definitely pop a rating, will definitely make people interesting. But here's the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
This is what I hope, right? Shane McMahon, established character. Everybody knows him. He has a lot of clout in the wrestling world. Generally, if he's not a booker, he's not the one producing the match, he's beloved by the wrestlers as well. Like, I don't know what the hell happened at Royal Rumble where he just wanted to put himself over. Shane McMahon will definitely be the best authority figure to be in AEW if he was to be utilized as that.
An on-screen authority figure.
Yeah, an on-screen authority figure. But I have this crazy thought. And I don't know, this is not an original idea. I think I heard it from one of the podcasts. Imagine if they bring in Shane McMahon as the backer of the Elite in storyline. It seems like that's what they would do to make it an AEW related war, because they've been doing this AEW versus the Elite storyline, right? So that's what's gonna happen. I know, Mr. Young, you're already turned off by my idea because it's the Elite.
Look, if that happens, then they would have wasted a Shane McMahon. They would have just absolutely shat on the money they are paying him. We all know that the Elite are not draws. Nobody and everything they do is just community theater, low budget on a high budget, poor quality shit. And if you go and lump Shane McMahon into that, they will drag him down to their level.
I'm not saying that I want to see that. I'm just saying that all signs from the way AEW is being booked all this while is pointing towards that, because the entire year-long feud is what? The Elite branching out and becoming heels and then fighting against Tony Khan and Authority, right?
Yeah.
So other than Tony Khan bringing Shane McMahon to be the good guy, what's the other way around? Shane McMahon being the bad guy with the Elite.
Yeah. So okay, I would rather him be the good guy versus the Elite. But even then, I would rather him not have anything to do with the Elite, because we all know that it will be a shit show.
Yeah, it is lah. But I honestly don't see any other top heel group that he can go against at this point in time.
What if Shane McMahon runs Invasion? I mean, technically, you have enough ex-WWE guys. He brings back Miro, Malachi, Okay, so interestingly enough, Brian Danielson, his contract is up, but he extended it for All In, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting that he could, after All In, not be in AEW anymore if he doesn't
Officially signed with
official.
AEW, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just throwing that out there as a hey.
Who has Shane McMahon feuded with that is now in AEW?
Didn't Shane feud with Brian Danielson at some point? Didn't they have a thing? Were they together or they had a feud? I forget. But I feel like those two are connected.
They were together. They fought against KO and Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah. So there you go. There is a connection there. I mean, what if Shane comes in to do the WWE thing because they have enough WWE ex-WWE guys?
So basically, make AEW versus the originals lah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing like.
Okay, like we can all agree if Shane McMahon becomes an on-screen character in AEW, I will definitely be tuning in to see what the fuck they do with him.
Yes, but based on their track record, I do not have high hopes about it.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but will this be strong enough to get the viewers back? That's the question.
I mean, week on week, it does seem like they are
getting better.
No, they're not getting better. They're trying to pop a rating.
Yeah,
because
wait. We're not supposed to talk about ratings. Remember, people are sick of us talking about AEW ratings. Remember.
So here's the thing, right? Like I saw the comment. Oh, what is success? If you are a television channel, ratings is success. Like, what kind of stupid comment is that? You know what I mean? And if AEW is a pet project, a fantasy pet project, then by all means, yeah, it is successful. But it is a TV show. And as a TV show, looking at the trends, it is not. And so that's why, I mean, Tony Khan knows it. That's why he's put out, the quote-unquote Iron Man match, the Blood and Guts match. It's all to pop a rating and get people to faster come back so I can make a good deal with Warner Brothers, right?
Shane McMahon joining AEW will definitely be a ratings ploy for sure.
Yeah, and people will, like, to your point, tune in to see. Whether it's a desperate ploy, well, that's to be seen.
Yeah. I think at this point they do need something. They do need a very overarching storyline that people can get invested in. I think that's when wrestling works well. Like right now, WWE has so many overarching storylines.
Yes.
So if AEW can have that really great storyline, I think that will really help. Even Brian Danielson, to me, like saying that he will retire, yeah, that's a good hook for people to watch the match. But the problem is, right, they haven't booked Brian Danielson's storyline retirement year.
Yep. Nope.
To a point that people are invested in every single match he does.
It's like, okay, the diehards know that he's retiring, but most other people don't know, and he's just very happy. He's one of those guys, right? And we know, like, his personality. I'm happy to do what I want to do, even if they don't promote it. So it works both ways. So everyone is happy in that sense. But as a product, like, so now he's gonna put over Swerve, right? At All In. What is that gonna matter? Well, it's an exhibition. He's just having fun. He's just working with the people he wants to work with. That is the narrative, right? So when Swerve does win, what does it matter?
It's just another notch under his belt. I mean, he beat, I guess, a legitimate star.
Is it, though? Is it in this world of make-believe wrestling? Make-believe fights?
I think as if you want to establish a champion like a Swerve, he does need to have big victories under his belt, right? Against big stars. Brian Danielson is going to be another big star that he beats. But whether, to your point, it builds him up any bigger than he already is, not really. Because, again, it's the stories, right? It's really the stories.
Yeah, no, it's the giving us a reason to care about why they are fighting, to give us the emotion of why they are fighting, as opposed to, oh, he beat former champion Brian Danielson as just a throwaway line.
Yeah. But
it's like, okay, you know what it's like? It's like Jinder Mahal having a title win over Randy Orton. Sounds great on paper, right? Like, but in all our hearts, no disrespect, don't hinder the Jinder, but all of us know, okay, like whatever,
Like, where did that come from, right?
Yeah, like, okay.
Okay, if I want to end this on a positive note about AEW, like, One good thing I can say is that this year's All In, the card itself has been built up way better than last year.
Wow,
Because last
yeah.
year I remember there wasn't even a match announced until like 2 weeks before.
True. I think they quote unquote learned their lesson, and we will still get Will Ospreay versus MJF. So you know that one's gonna be a banger, right?
Yeah, we still have that. Actually, even Swerve and Brian Nelson will still be good. I don't doubt that. It's just everything else. What's gonna happen?
Yeah. Okay. That said, incredible SummerSlam that just went by. Thank you everybody that has been hanging out since early this morning on the Discord. We appreciate your time. And thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday. I hope some of you have actually gone to makan lunch already because it's like 1:15 p.m. right now.
Yeah, please have your lunch. Please take a deep breath and recover and recharge. Of course, clearly, since we recorded this podcast live, there won't be a podcast at our usual time this coming week on Tuesday. But stay tuned. Next week, we're back to our regular time. We'll probably have some previews of SPW.
Speaking of SPW, yes. They are one of our sponsors on the podcast. Go drop them a follow on Instagram and look out for SPW Hardcore Island 2. A fine city. You're going to see Chairs match. Check this out. Iman versus CK Vin. You got a loser gets Kane match. Alamak. It's gotta be Kane. No, wait, wrong Kane. Referee Ryan's going up against Blade.
It's in lieu of National Day. I think we have to bring back our very famous Singapore Kane.
Walao.
Yeah, I think tickets are still available, so please go check out SPW on their socials, on their website to get tickets.
Yes.
We'll definitely try to be there, so come say hi.
Check it out. Jack and Cheese are going up against the Gym Bros.
Ooh, yeah,
which is going to be very interesting. And once again, the main event, our SOBs, as they like to call themselves now, the State of Bastards.
State of Bastards. Yes.
State of Bastards versus Aiden Rex in the Horrors. That's going to be a barn burner.
That should be fun.
As the old kids will say, huh? Singapore Extreme Rules match. Will we see a durian in play? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm very worried for blood, but there might be blood.
Let's talk about the food. Let's talk about Lemang, our other sponsor. Thank you guys so much for being here and supporting what we do as we support what you guys do as well. Lemak.lemak. Follow them on Instagram. Check them out on their website if you need to, do any sort of corporate orders. They do that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, man, and especially if you're in the area over there in Bugis and Arab Street, please drop by, go check out all their food, all their desserts, all their drinks. Tell them, bro, that you're from Kick to the Gut and, you got recommended to check them out. So they'll be really, really happy to know that we are spreading the word for them.
Bro, it is a minor miracle that we have managed to do this podcast live stream on 5G. Shout out to Circles Life. My God, it actually worked.
Hey bro, the data, the SIM card, are you on a SIM only plan or are you on a plan?
Plan lah, of course.
Bro, I need to know how much it costs, man. Let's see whether we can port over to Circles Life, bro.
$20 a month. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'm paying $20 a month only. I got 250, but I am on a corporate plan. So maybe your company also got a corporate plan?
Hey, confirm got one lah.
$20, like 250 gigs. I can't use Finish. Well, I might use Finish lah this week.
Wait, do you sign up with your corporate plan and buy a phone as well, or you just
no? I just sign up corporate plan and that's it. I didn't, but I'm still using my iPhone 13, bro. I haven't updated my phone, but I will say that I'm also now rocking a Sharp Aquos. Shout out to.
Oh yeah, you went right recently.
My other sponsored stuff.
Okay, got you. Since you give them free sponsor on our podcast, maybe they can sponsor us as well. You never know.
Yeah, exactly right. Hey, come on, Sharp. Let's go. They just launched a brand new phone here in Singapore, which is really badass. I did content on it. If you check out my Instagram page, I did a review of the phone.
Awesome. Well, okay, SummerSlam weekend is almost over. I think we need to take a break, take a chill pill, and kind of let it absorb. But if you enjoyed our podcast, please support us on Patreon. Any amount would do. Please follow us on our Discord. That's where we had all the great conversations this morning, bro.
Bro, Discord was a full-on community. We were enjoying the moments as they happen, and that's the best way to enjoy wrestling. So come and join the Discord if you haven't already. Don't be shy. We're all very friendly, most of us. I'm kidding. We're all very friendly, and we would love to have you there.
Yeah, shout out to some of the new people that just joined us. I don't see your lobang, Mr. Young. Are those people from your Discord or some other places?
Yes. We're trying to bring all the wrestling fans together, you know what I mean, and enjoy this crazy little world of pro wrestling. But yeah, that said, it's time to enjoy the rest of the weekend. So as always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.